Anna stood behind the curtain, her hands shaking. This was the biggest moment of her career, or at least it was supposed to be. A sold-out auditorium, flashing lights, cameras everywhere, journalists whispering her name, but all she could hear was her heartbeat pounding in her ears. It wasn't just fear, it was something deeper, heavier. The kind of weight that doesn't show up all at once, but builds slowly, piece by piece, until you wake up and realize you can't breathe. Anna hadn't been sleeping. For weeks, maybe months. Her dreams were filled with doubts, and her mornings with silence. Her team didn't notice, or maybe they didn't care. The makeup artist said she looked beautiful. The producer said she was a star. The press said she was perfect. But inside, she was unraveling. And now, just seconds before, she was supposed to walk onto the stage and speak to thousands of people. Her mind went blank. The script was gone. All the rehearsals, all the words, all the words, all. The confidence gone. She looked down at her dress, a deep silver gown that shimmered like the night sky. Her heels dug into the floor. Her fingers tightened around the cue cards, but the cards were trembling, and the words on them felt like lies. She took a deep breath. Another, but the panic didn't leave. It wasn't stage fright. It was something else. Something darker. Something like divvying up for weeks she'd been thinking about quitting. About walking away from all of it. Not because she didn't care, because she cared too much. And it was breaking her every headline, every rumor. Every online comment that picked her apart like she wasn't a person. She smiled through it all. Kept showing up. But it was costing her more than anyone knew. And tonight, her strength had finally cracked. Then she heard a voice, soft, taut, calm, real. Breathe. You don't have to be perfect. She turned. Slowly it was Keanu. He stood there in a simple black suit. No tie, his hands in his pockets. No cameras, no script. Just him. Anna blinked. Her mouth opened, but no words came. He took a step closer. You don't have to be anyone but yourself, he said. And that's enough. She stared at him, the Keanu Reeves. The man who everyone called humble, kind, wise. But in this moment, he wasn't a legend. He was just a man standing beside her, when everyone else stayed behind. Anna felt her throat. Tighten! I can't do it, she whispered. Keanu looked her in the eyes. Yes, you can, he said. But even if you don't, the world will still turn. You will still matter. A tear slid down her cheek. No one had told her that before. They told her to push harder, to smile more, to be grateful. But not this. Not that she was allowed. To be human, he didn't touch her. He didn't rush her. He just stood there, like a quiet mountain. Anna wiped her face. Her breath steadied, then slowly she nodded. Will you stay? Keanu gave a gentle smile. I already am. The curtain lifted. The light hit her eyes. She stepped forward, and for the first time in months, she felt free. The morning came like a slap. Anna's phone buzzed nonstop before sunrise. Calls, texts, news alerts. She groaned, rolled over, and reached for it. Her screen was flooded. Anna and Keanu, late-night mystery. Caught together, is this more than friendship? Secret romance? Or damage control? Anna blinked hard. The words blurred, but the impact was sharp. Paparazzi had been outside. Someone had snapped a photo of her and Keanu sitting in the car, their hands lightly touching, her head resting for a moment on his shoulder. It wasn't romantic. It was human. But they didn't care. They never did. And now, the world had made a story out of a moment that wasn't theirs to own. Anna's chest tightened. She could already hear her publicist's voice in her head control the narrative. Issue a statement, smile on camera, pretend it's all fine. But it wasn't fine. She opened her text messages. One was from Keanu. Don't let them change the truth. I'm here if you need me. Simple, quiet, grounding. She held the phone in both hands and stared at his words. Then she got up and made coffee with shaking fingers. Her team would be calling any second. But before they did, she needed to decide something for herself. What would she stand for? Truth. Silence. When she walked into the studio later that morning, the mood was different, colder. She could feel it. Whispers, sideways glances. Someone even said she's using him. Anna kept her head down. Her manager, Lena, toward her with a forced smile. Anna, sweetie, we need to get ahead of this. The tabloids are spinning it fast. Let's just clarify that you and Keanu are close friends, nothing more. Maybe we stage a light-hearted post together, a little denial, nothing harsh. Anna blinked slowly. Or, she said softly, we say, nothing. Lena looked confused. Say nothing? Anna, they're dragging your name. They're saying you had a meltdown. That Keanu saved you, like you were some helpless wreck? Anna's jaw tightened. Maybe they're not wrong, she said. I was breaking down, and he was there, but he didn't save me. He reminded me I still had a voice. The room went silent. No one was used to Anna talking like this. She continued, I'm tired of pretending everything is perfect. I want to tell the truth. I'm not ashamed of being tired, of needing help. Lena stared at her. Anna, are you sure? The press will twist it. Anna took a deep breath. Let them. Later that evening, Anna did something bold. She sat down in her living room. No makeup, no lights, just a phone propped on a book. She hit record and spoke. Hi. This is me, not the version of me on billboards or talk shows. Just me. Paused. Last night I almost gave up. And then someone reminded me I didn't have to carry it alone. She talked about the pressure, the exhaustion, the way it feels to smile for cameras while your heart is breaking inside. And then she said this, Keanu didn't rescue me, he respected me. He showed up. Not as a hero, but as a friend. And if the world wants to call that weakness, them. Her voice cracked, but she didn't stop. I'm not ashamed of being human, and if you're tired too, I see you. She ended the video with a quiet goodbye and posted it. No edits, no music, just truth. Keanu saw the video that night. He was sitting alone in a small bookstore, reading poetry by a dim window. When his phone lit up, he watched every second. Then, whispered to himself, good. The internet reacted like a storm. Some called her brave, some mocked her. But something else started happening. People, thousands of them, began posting their own stories of burnout, of fear, of hiding there. Pain behind a smile. A movement began. Quiet. Honest. Anna didn't expect it, but when she saw it, she wept. Not from sadness, from relief. Days passed. Keanu and Anna didn't see each other right away, but something was building, not romance. Something deeper. A bond forged in truth, but Hollywood wasn't done. Not yet. A rumor began spreading in. Quiet corners. Someone from Anna's inner circle had leaked her private messages, texts she had sent to a friend when she was at her lowest. Words like, I hate myself, I can't breathe, I feel invisible. They were everywhere. Screenshots, headlines, mockery. Anna stared at them on her laptop, her hands shaking again. This was too far. Someone close to her had betrayed her, and for what? Attention? Money. Her phone rang. Keanu, she answered without thinking. I'm sorry, she whispered. Don't be, he said gently. This isn't your fault. They took my pain and made it entertainment, yes, he said, because they don't know how to sit with their own. Anna's breath hitched. I don't know if I can do this again. Keanu was quiet for a long time. Then he said, then let me stand beside you. That night, the two of them walked into a charity event together, not holding hands, not posing, just side by side, not for romance, for resilience. They didn't speak to the cameras. They spoke to the people inside, young artists, struggling actors, writers, dreamers. Anna walked on. Stajan said, you don't have to be perfect to belong. And the room erupted, but in the back, hidden in the shadows. Someone watched with cold eyes, someone who used to be her friend, someone more to leak, more to destroy. The next storm was coming, and Anna didn't know it yet, but this one would. Cut deeper, because it wouldn't just be about her. It would go after Keanu. And this time, Silence wouldn't be enough. Anna walked onto the stage like she was stepping into another world. The lights were blinding. The applause was loud. Too loud, but she didn't look at the crowd. She looked at him. Keanu stood just behind the curtain, out of sight, but there, steady, silent. And for Anna, that was enough. The audience waited. The mic was in her hand. The world held its breath. Anna opened her mouth, and her voice almost cracked, but she didn't panic. Not this time, because in that moment, she remembered the way Keanu had spoken, soft, grounded, like nothing she said had to be perfect. So she spoke from her heart. "Thank you for being here tonight," she began. "I almost didn't come." Pause. A ripple went through the room. "I almost gave up," she said. "Not just on tonight, but on all of it." You could hear a pin drop. Anna's voice was calm, low, honest. "I've been tired." Not the kind of tired sleep can fix. It's the kind that builds when you keep pretending to be fine, even when you're not. Somewhere in the crowd, someone coughed. Someone else sniffed lead, and then silence again. "But someone reminded me tonight," Anna continued, "that I don't have to be perfect to be enough." In the back of the room, Keanu closed his eyes. This was why he came, not to save her, but to remind her of her own strength. Anna finished her speech, not with applause in mind, but with truth. And when she stepped off stage, something had changed. Not out there, but inside her, backstage. Keanu was waiting with 2 cups of water. Anna took one and sat down beside him. "Thank you," she said. "You did that," he replied. "Not me," she smiled. "But you were the reason I didn't walk away." He looked at her. Really looked. "We all need someone to stand beside us, even the strong ones." She nodded. Her shoulders dropped like a weight had finally fallen off. "How do you do it?" she asked. Keanu leaned back in the chair. "Do what?" "Stay grounded. Kind. Quiet. When the world pulls you in every direction." He thought for a second, then answered. "I lost people," he said softly. "Too many. Too young. And I realized the only thing that matters is how we treat each other. That's what stays." Anna watched him closely. There was pain in his voice. Old pain, but also peace. "Do you ever feel like walking away?" she asked. Keanu chuckled lightly. "Almost every week," she laughed, then covered her mouth. It felt good to laugh. He continued. "But then I remember the people who can't walk away, the ones who are still struggling, still hoping. And if I have a platform, a voice, anything at all, I use it not to shine, but to light the way for someone else." Anna stared at him, her eyes glassy. "You just did that for me," she said. Keanu looked down at the floor. "Then maybe I'm doing okay." The night ended quietly. No big after party. No cameras. It's just a small ride back in the black car that waited out back. Keanu offered to ride with her, not to talk, just to make sure she got home safe in the back seat. Anna looked out the window, watching the streetlights blur. "Can I ask you something?" She said. "Anything. Why'd you come backstage tonight? You weren't even on the same schedule." Keanu hesitated, then he spoke with care. "I saw your interview last week. You looked tired." Not in the face. In the eyes, I recognized it. Yana turned to him. "You've been there?" "I lived there once," he said quietly. She didn't speak. She just reached across the seat and held his hand. Not in romance, but in recognition too. People, 2 quiet storms, finding calm in each other. When the car pulled up to her place, Anna turned to him before opening the door. "Will I see you again?" she asked. Keanu tilted his head. "Do you want to?" "Yes," she said. "Then you will." Anna smiled. And for the first time in a long time, it wasn't a smile for the cameras. It was real, but outside the car. Someone else was watching. Someone with a camera. Someone who would twist what happened next, because in Hollywood, kindness is never just kindness. And tomorrow, the headlines would say something else, something loud, something untrue, and Anna would have to decide, fight back, or stay silent. Anna stood by the window, watching the sky darken over Los Angeles. Her apartment felt cold. It's not because of the weather, but because of the silence. She had spent years building a life, career, and a circle of people she thought she could trust now. That circle felt like a cracked mirror still holding shape, but broken on the inside. She needed to know the truth. Who sent those fake emails? Who leaked her private texts? Someone close to her had decided that her pain was worth selling. And that kind of betrayal, it didn't come from a stranger. She didn't want to accuse anyone without proof. But something inside her had shifted. Not anger, clarity. The kind of strength that comes when you've already been broken and you realize you're still standing. Keanu had been quiet the past 2 days. He gave her space, but she knew he was nearby, just in case. She finally texted him, "I'm ready." A few minutes later, he responded, "You don't have to do it alone." So that night they sat together in Anna's living room. Keanu held a small folder in his lap, something his private investigator had quietly put together. Anna stared at the folder. "Are you sure?" she asked. "It's your choice," Keanu said. "But I think you deserve to know." She nodded. He slid the folder across the table. Anna opened it with slow, steady hands. Inside were time logs, message records, and a trail of anonymous payments. Traced back to an account, but what made her blood run cold was the name attached. Natalie, her assistant. The girl who had stood beside her for 3 years, who brought her coffee, scheduled her interviews, held her umbrella, and said she admired her every day. Anna's stomach turned. "Why?" she whispered. Keanu didn't answer. Because there were no good answers. Anna didn't scream, didn't scry. She just sat still, her jaw tight, her breath slow. Then she stood up. "I need to talk to her," she said. Keanu watched her carefully. "Are you sure you're ready?" "I don't want revenge," she said. "I want truth." The next morning, Anna called Natalie into her office. Natalie walked in with her usual bright smile. "Hey, what's up?" she said, cheerful, pretending like nothing had happened. Anna closed the door behind her. "Sit down," she said quietly. Natalie hesitated, then sat. Anna placed the folder on the desk. Natalie's face went pale. "I know it was you," Anna said. "I know about the leaks, the fake emails, the video, all of it." Natalie swallowed. Her voice cracked. "Anna, I didn't mean don't lie," Anna said, her voice low and steady. "Just tell me why." "Was jealous," she whispered. "You were living this perfect life. Everyone loved you. I worked just as hard and no one even saw me. I just wanted some attention. I thought maybe if I gave them something, they'd finally notice me." Anna stared at her. 1,000 emotions moved through her eyes. "You wanted to be seen," she said softly. Natalie nodded, crying now. "I'm sorry. I didn't think it would go that far." Anna leaned forward. "You didn't ruin me," she said. "You revealed me." Natalie blinked. "What? You helped me stop pretending? You showed me what happens when you let silence grow too long. I'll never forget that." Natalie looked ashamed. "Are you going to press charges?" Anna paused, then shook her head. "No, but you can't be in my life anymore," Natalie sobbed. "I understand." Anna stood, walked to the door, and opened it. Natalie got up and walked out slowly, broken. Keanu was waiting outside. "How'd it go?" he asked. "She's lost," Anna said. "But maybe now she can find herself." Keanu nodded. "And you?" Anna looked at him. "I'm tired," she said, "but free." The next few days passed in quiet. The media moved on to something else. The rumors faded, but something else began. People started writing to Anna, hundreds, then thousands. Letters, emails, drawings, voice messages from fans, from strangers, from people who felt invisible and saw themselves in her honesty. Anna read every single one. Some made her cry, some made her laugh, but all of them reminded her truth reaches deeper than fame ever could. One night, Anna stood on a small stage in a community theater, speaking at a panel for mental health awareness. She looked around the room. No paparazzi, no flashing lights, just real people. She took a breath. I used to think strength was pretending nothing hurt, she said. But now I know. It's real strength. It's choosing to heal in the open, a pause. Even when it's messy. Even when it's painful. Even when it scares people. Someone in the crowd whispered, "Thank you." Anna smiled. Afterward, Keanu met her outside. They walked quietly for a while. Then he said, "You changed something, you know?" She looked at him. "What do you mean?" The silence. He said, "You broke it." Anna exhaled. "I didn't mean to." "That's why it worked," he said. "You didn't do it for applause. You did it because you had no other choice." She stopped walking and turned to him. "I never told you." "Thank you. You don't have to," he replied. "No," she said. "I do. Not just for being there, but for staying when the world was shouting." Keanu gave a small smile. "Someone once stayed for me," he said. "I just returned the favor." They stood in silence, side by side, under the street lamp, but it wasn't the end of the story. Because the biggest surprise was still ahead. One that would take everything they'd been through and turn it into something neither of them expected. Something that would reach people far beyond Hollywood, a legacy, a movement, a second chance. And it would begin with a single, unexpected phone call. Anna couldn't sleep. The past few nights had been heavy. It's like trying to breathe underwater. She kept replaying the words in her head. The ones from those leaked messages. The ones she thought were private, sacred. She'd trusted that friend. She'd trusted her whole circle. And someone had sold her pain like it was a headline. But what haunted her now wasn't the betrayal. It was the silence before the next blow. Because deep down, Anna knew it wasn't over. That morning, she got a call from her lawyer. "You need to see this," he said. He sent a link. Anna clicked it, hands cold, heart already sinking. And there it was, a fake email chain, doctored screenshots. It showed what looked like Anna writing cruel, selfish things about Keanu, claiming he was only helping her for his image, that she was using his fame for a comeback. Email looked real, but Anna never wrote it, not a single word. She stared at it, stunned. "This is fake," she whispered. "I know," her lawyer said, "but the media won't care." Within hours, it was everywhere. Anna exposed secret emails show she used Keanu Reeves. Is her speech a performance? Sources confirmed cracks in their friendship. Anna's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Her social media flooded with hate. Fraud, liar, manipulator. It felt like drowning, her voice gone again. Her truth buried under noise. She sat on the floor of her kitchen, staring at the tile, trying to breathe. A knock came at her door, soft, steady. She didn't move. Then came a voice. "It's me." She stood up, slowly opened the door. Keanu was standing there holding 2 coffees, wearing an old hoodie and jeans like nothing had changed. "I didn't know what kind you needed," he said, lifting the cups, so I brought both Anna's. Eyes welled up. "Did you see it?" She whispered. "Yeah," he said. "I saw it." "Do you believe it?" He looked her straight in the eyes. "No," she broke. Right there, fell into his arms and sobbed. Not like in the movies, not graceful. Not quiet, raw, messy, real. And he held her, not with fear, but with peace. They sat on the couch. Coffees untouched as she told him everything, who she thought, leaked the texts, how scared she was, how tired. Keanu didn't interrupt, didn't rush. Her, when she finished, he finally spoke. "Anna, I've been in this business for decades. I've seen good people crushed. It's not by failure, but by lies." She looked up at him, her face streaked with tears. "What do I do?" He thought for a second. "Tell the truth. Not for them. For you. But they won't believe it." "Some won't," he said. "But the right ones will, and the rest. They're not your weight to carry." Anna didn't want to post again. She didn't want another camera, another headline. But she remembered something he once said. The only thing that matters is how we treat each other, and that's what stays. So she wrote, not a video this time, just a simple letter, a post on her page. "I didn't write those emails. I would never speak of Keanu with anything but respect. I owe him more than I can say. But this isn't just about a rumor. This is about a culture that turns kindness into suspicion, that punishes people for being vulnerable, that turns pain into entertainment. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. 8. But I will not accept lies as my story. Within minutes, it spread like fire. This time, something was different. People pushed back. Actors, musicians, fans, strangers. We believe Anna respect isn't a weakness. Kindness doesn't need to be explained. And then Keanu posted just one line. I know her heart. It's real. Those 5 words silenced half the internet, but not all of it. The person who faked the emails wasn't done. They had one more card, an old video clip from years ago. Anna was caught in a moment of exhaustion during a shoot, snapping at a crew member, walking off set. She'd already apologized for it privately, but now someone had edited it, cut it, twisted it, and made it look cruel, as if she'd never cared about anyone. They released it anonymously, and suddenly, sympathy turned into questions again. Is she really kind? Is this all a performance? Anna sat in her apartment staring at the screen, her fingers curled into fists. Then her phone buzzed. A new video was being shared fast. But this one wasn't from her. It was from Keanu, filmed in his garage. No suit, no script, just him, leaning on a stool, speaking quietly. I've worked with Anna. I've shared silence with her. I've seen her when the cameras are off. And I'll say this, she's not perfect. None of us are. But she's honest. She feels deeply. She lifts others up. She's human. And anyone who twists that, they're afraid of truth. It was the most Keanu had spoken on camera in months, and it broke the internet. Not in chaos, in calm. People watched it again and again, not because he yelled, but because he didn't. His stillness said, more than any scandal, Anna watched it alone, tears. Rolling again, but this time they were different. Not from shame, from gratitude, because when the world turned its back, one man stood still, not to fix her, but to say, you are not alone. But the battle wasn't over, not yet, because the truth behind the fake email was still out there. And now, Anna wanted answers. Someone in her inner circle had betrayed her, and it was time to find out who. What she didn't know was the person responsible was closer than she thought, and they were about to do something that would hurt even more. Something no one saw coming. The call came on a rainy morning. Anna was sipping tea by her window. Watching droplets race down the glass, her phone rang, buzzing gently on the table. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick it up. Hello? A voice replied, soft. And careful, Ms. Anna de Armas. This is Melinda from the New Light Foundation. Anna sat up straighter. Yes, this is me. I've been following your journey, your honesty. The way you've spoken about pressure, burnout, and betrayal reaching people. Not just here, but across the world, especially in the places that don't get heard. Anna stayed quiet, listening. Melinda continued, we'd like to invite you to lead a global initiative. We're calling it Speak Anyway, a movement that helps young artists, survivors, and creators share their truth without shame. We want your voice, not your celebrity, your courage. Anna blinked, stunned. Not a movie, not a campaign. A purpose. I'd be honored, she said, her voice steady. The weeks that followed were a blur of new beginnings. Anna met with schools, visited shelters, talked to artists, nurses, musicians, and young women who once thought silence was the only way to survive. And she told them all the same thing. You matter. Not when you're strong, but even when you're breaking. The movement grew. Hundreds of stories then. Thousands, videos, letters, songs, paintings, not for fame, but for healing, and everywhere she went. One person was always nearby, quiet, constant Keanu. He never stood in front of her, never tried to lead. He walked beside her, sometimes carrying gear, sometimes opening doors, sometimes just waiting in the back of the room, his eyes soft with pride. When people asked, are you two together? They both smiled. Not a yes, not a no, just a look that said, "We're something more." One day, after a long event in New York City, Anna and Keanu stood alone on a rooftop. The skyline shimmered. The wind was gentle. Anna leaned on the railing, exhausted but glowing. "Do you ever wonder why it had to happen like this?" she asked. "All the pain, the scandal, the betrayal?" Keanu looked out over the city. "Sometimes pain breaks us open," he said, "so the light can finally come through." Anna nodded, tears in her eyes. "I was so close to quitting," she whispered. He turned to her, his voice gentle. "And now, look what you've built." "I didn't do it alone." "You never had to," he said. Months passed. Anna was invited to speak at the United Artists Forum, the same stage where she once froze. But this time, she didn't stand there alone. Keanu introduced her, his voice steady. "There are moments in life where one person's truth opens a door for thousands more. Anna didn't just walk through that door, she held it open, even when it hurt, even when it cost her. That's courage. That's who she is." The crowd rose to their feet. Anna stepped forward, not trembling, not hiding. Whole, she spoke without notes, without fear. "I don't stand here as someone who never fell. I stand here as someone who got back up, and the only reason I could is because someone reminded me I didn't have to fall alone." She turned to Keanu. He nodded, and for the first time, they embraced on stage, not for headlines. For history. Later that night, in a quiet hotel lobby, they sat side by side. No cameras, no fans, just two people who had once walked through fire. Now sat in peace. Anna looked at him, her voice barely a whisper. "What now?" Keanu smiled. "Whatever we want." And in that simple answer was everything. Anna didn't need to be perfect anymore. She didn't need the spotlight, because now she carried something stronger than fame. A story, a truth, a light that didn't burn her out, but lit the path for others. And Keanu stayed, the same quiet present. And when people asked why he was always by her side, he answered with a shrug. She saved herself. I just reminded her how. And the world listened, not because they shouted, but because they spoke anyway.